Jai Gurudev. So the verse begins with Bhanu Koti Bhaswaram, the one who shines with the brilliance of a million suns. How does this brilliance apply in healthcare and disease prevention? Yes, in medicine, brilliance isn't just knowledge, it's a vitality. The Bhanu Koti Bhaswaram within us is the Prana Shakti, or life energy, which, when kindled, activates self healing mechanisms. Gurudev often says, you don't fight disease, you awaken health. Through Sudarshan Kriya, Pranayama, and meditation, practitioners ignite the inner sun, their immunity increases, oxidative stress reduces, and cellular communication improves. In Ayurveda and integrative medicine, this is vital. Increasing ojas, our subtle energy research has shown how meditation can boost telomerase, reduce inflammation, and even improve outcomes in chronic illnesses. Kala Bhairav's solar brilliance is a metaphor for bioenergetic luminosity, radiant health. The line Bhavabdi Tarakamparam refers to being rescued from the ocean of samsara. Can you explain how this applies to mental health and chronic disease? Yes, Bhavabdi also means the ocean of stress and psychological suffering. Very relevant today. Depression, anxiety, autoimmune issues all increase with unresolved emotional trauma. Through Vedic practices like Gayatri Japa, Aghora Mantra, and Sandhya Vandanam, the subtle impressions or samskaras that drive stress can be released. Gurudev reminds us that healing is not just physiological, it is emotional and karmic too. When a person connects with the Param or Supreme, whether through meditation or yajna, they are lifted above the waves of suffering. This lifting is not metaphorical, it is neurochemical. Brain scans show changes in the amygdala, prefrontal cortex, and vagus nerve after Kriya and chanting. The Neelakandam, the blue throated one, how does this symbolism guide us in handling toxins, both physical and emotional? That's a very powerful image. Shiva drank the hala hala poison and held it in his throat. It didn't harm him. Similarly, in healthcare, professionals constantly face toxins, literal ones like pollutants and emotional ones like burnout and patient trauma. Gurudev says, don't swallow the poison of others' suffering, transform it. Through breath work, you cleanse the nervous system. In one of our programs for oncologists, doctors reported that Sudarshan Kriya helped them process grief without collapse on a biochemical level. These practices reduce cortisol and increase serotonin. Emotionally, they help one stay in compassion without emotional fatigue. That's Neil Kantasa's medicine in practice. Lipsita Artha Dayakam, granting desired outcomes. How can this principle aid patients in recovery or enhance treatment outcomes? Yes, the healing is not only science, it is sankalpa or intention. Patients who carry a clear, calm, and positive intention recover faster. This is now backed by psychoneuroimmunology in Vedic rituals. When a sankalpa is placed before a deity like Kala Bhairava, the universe aligns to fulfill it. Gurudev often says, when your prayer is from the heart, nature listens. Patients who chant mantras like Mahamrityunjay or even listen to bhajans report faster healing. One cancer hospital in Bengaluru plays Vedic chants in its ICU, and recovery rates have statistically improved. Desires become healing when rooted in surrender. Yes, Trilokanam, the three-eyed. What is the role of this three-eye vision in diagnosis, patient care, and medical innovation? Yes, in medicine, as in spirituality, insight is often more vital than instruments. A good physician sees the lab results. A great one senses what the results don't say. Gurudev calls this the eye of the heart. A third eye is intuitive intelligence. It can detect subtle imbalances even before symptoms arise. Practitioners of Sehat Samadhi or yogic meditation report heightened diagnostic sensitivity even in emergency medicine. This inner eye helps doctors make swift, accurate decisions without panic. In research, breakthroughs often come not from linear logic but from inspired insight. The domain of Trilokanam in this way, Kalabhairava becomes the guardian of medical intuition. The Kala Kalam, the death of death, can spiritual practices truly influence longevity and one's relationship with mortality? Absolutely, longevity isn't just how long you live, but how you relate to time and death. Kala Kalam is the principle that we are not victims of time, we are its masters. Gurudev often shares that deep meditation and Vedic practices can extend life not just quantitatively but qualitatively. Studies have shown meditators have lower biological age, better telomere length, and reduced inflammation through Trikal Sandhya. Gayatri Japa and Agnikaram, the Prarabdha karma gets pacified. People on their deathbed often experience fear, but those who have touched Kaal Bhairav's presence through sadhana depart with a smile, not dread. Death becomes a doorway, not an end. Ambuja Aksham, the lotus eyed. How can lotus eyed perception improve patient doctor relationships and healthcare environments? As empathy is the core of healing, a lotus eye sees the suffering of the patient but not with the pity. It sees a wholeness despite illness. Gurudev says, see the person, not the problem. When doctors approach patients with such gaze, the environment becomes more than clinical. It becomes healing. This is being explored in integrative medicine and narrative care. In our stress relief workshops for nurses, many reported that after practicing Padma Sadhana and meditation, they started feeling the humanity of their patients more deeply. That softness of perception is the lotus gaze of Ambuja Aksha. It heals beyond prescription. The Akshay-Shulam wielder of the trident, how does this concept apply to balancing body, mind, and spirit in holistic health? Yes, the trident represents the balance of the three doshas in Ayurveda, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and the three gunas of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Good health is not merely the absence of disease but harmony between these. The Shula also removes the threefold suffering of Adhyatmika, inner, Adi Bhautik or external, and Adi Devik or cosmic. Gurudev says Ayurveda centers use this framework in treatment, yoga, Vedic diet, mantra chanting, and daily Sandhya Vandanam form the trident of holistic immunity. When these pillars are upheld, even genetic predispositions get neutralized. Kala Bhairava doesn't just punish disease, he pierces its root with the shula of wisdom, rhythm, and reverence. Finally, Aksharam, the imperishable. How does anchoring in the imperishable support resilience during illness and health crisis? Yes, disease often breaks not just the body but the identity. People say, I am cancer or I am depressed, but Gurudev teaches you are not the disease, you are the witness. Meditation reveals this Aksharam, the unchanging self. So when patients touch this stillness, fear reduces, pain becomes manageable, and hope returns. Many terminal patients in Art of Living Prison Smart and Swadhyaya programs report peace despite prognosis. Even caregivers heal by connecting to this Aksharam. Kala Bhairava becomes their protector not by erasing disease, but by awakening the imperishable within. That alone is ultimate healing. Yes, so the verse opens with the Bhanu Koti Bhaswaram, brilliance like a million suns. How is this divine radiance activated in Art of Living programs? Yes, in Art of Living, this Bhanu Koti Bhaswaram isn't just poetic, it's a living experience. When a seeker does Sudarshan Priya as taught in the happiness program, or goes deeper in silence programs and advanced meditations, a tangible inner light awakens. Many participants have described a glow on their face after Kriya, a sharpness in perception, and deep intuitive clarity. Gurudev explains that this happens because the body becomes free of toxins and the mind becomes free of impressions at an energetic level. The nadis are cleansed and the tejas or inner fire is ignited. This radiance is also what we celebrate during satsangs where devotion makes the inner sunshine. From the Vedic Dhamsansthan view, how is this brilliance cultivated in traditional practices? Yes, in the Vedic tradition, the inner light is cultivated through daily trikals and Vandram, Gayatri Japa, and Yajnas, especially the chanting of the Gayatri Mantra at the three sandhyas of morning, noon, and dusk, aligns the individual with the solar consciousness. Bhanu or the sun is not merely a celestial body, it's the divine witness. In Upanayam Samskara, the sacred thread connects the seeker to the solar lineage. Vedic rituals invoke the Bhaswaram or through precise mantras or Havan fire and Achmanam or ritual purification. Kala Bhairav's radiance is invoked during Agora Upasana, done to remove tamas and awaken sattva. It's not mythological, it's energetic precision. The line Bhava the Tarakam Param speaks of liberation from samsara. How do art of living programs help participants overcome emotional or existential suffering? Every art of living course, from the basic happiness program to advanced Sehat Samadhi and silence courses, is designed to help individuals cross the ocean of suffering or bhavabdi. We have had participants struggling with grief, PTSD, trauma, and burnout who have said this program saved my life. The wisdom talks by Gurudev, coupled with the guided meditations and breathing techniques, teach one how to be a sakshi, a witness, and not be drowned by the mind. This is crossing the ocean seva, another pillar of our programs. Gives people a larger context and purpose, lifting them out of self centered pain into universal connection. And how is this crossing of samsara addressed in Vedic dharmas and sun practices? In the Vedic system, liberation from bhavabdi starts with discipline. Daily Nitya Karmas like Sandhya Vandanam, Agnikaram, Gayatri Japa, and chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama gradually reduce karmic bindings during certain Ratams like Kalabhairava Ashtami. Sankalpas are made to overcome mental tendencies or vasanas. The sacred parayanas of texts like the Kaivalya Upanishad or Kalabhairava Ashtakam are done to remove this fear of death and cycle of birth and rebirth. These aren't symbolic, they cleanse the subtle body. Kalabhairava as Taraka is invoked in ceremonies like Atma Shanti Homa for departed souls and Navagraha Shanti for karmic resolution. It's an integrated pathway to moksha. Yes, the Neelakantam, the blue-throated one who drinks poison. How does art of living train individuals to handle negativity or emotional toxicity? Yes, every teacher in art of living is trained to be Neelakanta, to hold the space for people's pain without absorbing it. The Sudarshan Kriya literally purges emotional toxins from the system. Participants report crying, laughing, or shaking as suppressed impressions leave. Sehat Samadhi meditation brings equanimity so you can process criticism or grief without suppression or outburst. Gurudev teaches that the blue throat represents wisdom when you absorb negativity but transform it instead of reacting in our youth leadership training programs. While DP, teach youth how to manage anger, trauma, and peer pressure using breath, yoga, and knowledge. That's the modern Nilkantha. How is the Nilakantha archetype preserved in Vedic rituals? In the Rudrakrama, or Mahadev is worshipped in this aspect as the poison holder. The recitation of the Rudram Chamakam pacifies internal aggression. The throat chakra or Vishuddhi is balanced through Aghora mantra and Panchakshari japa of Om Namah Shivaya. In higher kriyas like Shakti Kriya, taught only after purification, one learns to harness subtle energies and transmute base emotions into ojas. Kalabhairava is invoked especially in midnight rituals where deep tamas is transformed. In some karmic healing rituals, the devotee visualizes swallowing their karma into the blue fire of Kalabhairava and then doing japa to release its soul. It's a very precise science. The Lipsita Arthadayakam, granting desired goals. Do art of living courses support manifestation and material well being? Yes, but not through wishful thinking, through inner clarity. Gurudev says when the mind is clear, desires manifest effortlessly. A blessings course taught only by senior teachers trains individuals to become conduits of divine sankalpa. When participants drop feverishness and surrender through Sahat Samadhi and Seva, they find that jobs, relationships, and even financial breakthroughs start flowing in. This is not magic, it's alignment in silence courses. Many have received clarity on major life decisions. When a person is aligned with the present moment, their desires become seeds that sprout in fertile soil. That is Lipsita Ipsita Arthadayakam in living form. From a Vedic perspective, how are desires sanctified and fulfilled? Yes, in Vedic rituals, kama or desire is not rejected but refined. Through Purusha Suktam, Sri Suktam, and Lakshmi Kuber Homam, desires are placed into the sacred fire with a vow for dharmic manifestation. Kalabhairava Ashtami is observed by devotees who wish to overcome obstacles to wealth and security. Also, Chandika Parayanam is done when desires are being blocked. by karmic obstacles. Every Vedic desire is embedded in a higher goal of moksha. Even in marriage rituals, it's not just union but a journey towards liberation. So, yes, Kala Bhairava grants desires, but only after testing their alignment with Dharma. The Trilokanam, the three eyed one, how do art of living programs awaken this inner seeing in participants? Through meditation, the third eye isn't just a concept, it becomes experiential after Sahat Samadhi meditation or a silence course. Participants report heightened intuition. They say things like, I just knew the right thing to do. Gurudev calls this the eye or perception of Viveka Drishti. This seeing is cultivated not through straining but through soft awareness. Padma sadhana prepares the body, Sudarshan Kriya cleanses the mind, and Sahaj opens the subtle perception. In our children's programs too, we have seen kids intuitively choosing correct options before they are even taught logic. The third eye, is in fantasy, it's the intelligence beyond intellect. From the Shastraic view, how is Trilokana activated? In Vedic Parampara, the Agya Chakra is awakened through Upanayanam, Gayatri Japa, and later Shambhavi, Mudra, and Kundalini Sadhana. The three eyes represent knowledge of the past, present, and future. Rituals like Agnihotra, when done regularly, harmonize the left and right hemispheres of the brain and open the central channel of Sushumna. In some advanced Rishi Vidya's vision of previous lives or future insights is granted not as entertainment but for healing and clarity. Kalabhairava is visualized as standing beyond time, and his third eye is invoked to burn illusions. This is what leads to Atma Darshanam. Jai Gurudev. So let's begin with the Bhanukoti Bhaswaram, brilliance like a million suns. How can this brilliance be applied in the context of IT work and seva at information or reception desks? Jai Gurudev. So this line speaks of radiance, inner presence that uplifts and guides. In IT or reception seva, it's not just about giving information. It's about being the light, whether it's answering queries in a global Zoom help desk, managing a central reception at the Bangalore ashram, or handling emails. Once Bhaswaram vibrancy sets the tone, Gurudev says your presence should heal before your words even begin. So darshan kriya and regular meditation give the glow, the clarity and the grounded poise that makes every visitor feel cared for, not processed in IT2. Clear inner bandwidth, clear digital bandwidth. Practice a few minutes of Bhastrika and Nadi Shodhan Pranayama before logging into your support desk. You will notice more energy, fewer errors, and quicker resolution clarity. From the Vedic tradition, how is this radiance upheld in sacred service rules like the welcome desk or ashram entrance? In Vedic hospitality, the guest is Atiti Devo Bhava, a form of divinity. The welcome desk is not a function, it's a doorway to grace. In earlier times, one would purify themselves with the Achmanam or chant the Surya Gayatri and then receive guests at ashram entrances or yajna halls. We chant Surya Narayana Stotram to invoke radiance. Kalabhairav's million sun brilliance teaches reception sevaks to radiate compassion, not bureaucracy. Even using Sanskrit phrases like Swagatam or Suswagatam opens energetic portals. Gurudev emphasizes that smiling is the first mantra of Seva, and Bhanukoti Bhaswaram is a smiling face behind every desk. The praise Bhavabdi Tarakam Param speaks of helping others cross the ocean of worldly suffering. How can this be practiced at the reception information desk or HR level? Many who come to the ashram or AOL centers are silently drowning in grief, confusion, and spiritual search. As a receptionist, you are not just handling out schedules, you are extending a hand across the ocean in Central HR Seva. When onboarding new volunteers, it's not about forms, it's about holding space. Gurudev often says, be like the boat, firm, floating, and fearless. Best practices help you to be that boat. You may guide a lost guest to their room, but if you do it mindfully with calm awareness, you are actually lifting them. That is Bhavavadi Tarakam Seva. Before starting desk Seva, sit for 5 minutes with this awareness. I am a bridge, not a barrier. Recite mentally Om Bhavavadi Tarakaya Namaha. Jai Gurudev.